Your new life begins with a new thought. Now, there are some spiritual practices that we get to go through on how we can move ourselves from the place where we are now to the place where we want to be. Most of it is based on affirmations or intention setting, or in our case, it's practical prayer. It is setting a very specific intention about the new experience that we want to be having. In a lot of ways, that's very similar to what the self-help movement and all those books have been talking about for a long time. But New Thought was talking about it first, and it brings it into a spiritual realm where instead of setting an intention or an affirmation for what I and my small ego self want to have happen in the world, we are going into partnership with that infinite creative power that can and has and does create everything, and allowing that to create our next new experience. Now, this New Thought philosophy is the sort of thing that you can learn in a weekend, but mastery can take a lifetime. So there are classes that we teach, there are workshops that we have, there are talks that we give, there are groups that we get together with as we deepen into our awareness of this truth and take multiple trips through the spiritual spirals to bring more and more and more of that good into our lives. There are lots of different ways that it shows up. There are different areas of our life that can be affected. It can be about our health and vitality, our physical well-being. We have had numerous cases of people with terminal diagnoses and very, very serious illnesses that not only were completely cured from whatever their malady was, the follow-up tests showed that they had never actually had it at all. Now, I'm not going to ask you to believe that. I'm just going to ask you to consider that maybe it's a possibility, so that when you want something like that to happen for yourself or for a loved one, you can be open to those possibilities. It works in areas of prosperity as well. It's an infinitely abundant universe, so there's really no shortage of anything. What we are usually worried about when it comes to experiences of lack or scarcity is not having enough accessible for ourselves right now for the current need or desire. And the universe has plenty. The universe is perfectly willing to allow us to have it. We just need to be able to claim it in a way that we can embody it and experience it and allow it. It can be in areas of relationship, love, self-love, our committed relationships with our beloved, our families, our friends, our colleagues, our co-workers, even people we don't agree with. We can do prayer and change the experience that we're having in relationships with people who we've never actually even liked. Another area is work or creativity. How are we sharing our gifts? Because in this infinite universe, we all bring a gift, and we have the opportunity to share it in a way that brings joy and harmony and peace and love and prosperity into the world. Or not. Because we're always at choice. We always have a free choice to take these gifts that are available to us, to take this wisdom and insight and knowledge that exists and use it or ignore it. We are always free to choose. So you're invited through this series to choose to experience it, to enjoy it, to deepen into it, to learn more deeply and more fully how your new life begins with a new thought.